Hey guys, Lucas Green here, and I'm back for Beast Quest Retrospective Series 3. So, hopefully you guys are doing well, and like always, in-depth story analysis on my overall thoughts of this epic adventure. So make sure you've read these books before watching this review. As you guys know how this goes, for those of you who have seen my previous retrospectives, I have my notes for the entire series analysis on my upper phone here, so I've got them to look at, so I will be facing that direction for most of this video, as standard issue as it goes, because when you're reading it out, that's how it is. I've enjoyed reading this series. It has given me a different vibe, going through a second time, so interesting there. And I hope that this video will be nice and well, how I did my other ones. I have enjoyed my friend Adam Fern's AG tournament so far. It's coming to a close, and good stuff. I'm looking forward to see how the finale goes, so best of luck there. With that being said, though, let's go right into the video, starting off with Torgor the Minotaur. So, our heroes go through the Lion's Gate, and reach Gorgonia, a kingdom with many marshlands. They meet Curlo, the shady gatekeeper, who tells what was the best route to take if they wished to continue their quest. They headed on. The golden armor was removed from Tom, the armor itself, and Adaro showed up to explain how he got out. He says by gathering all the golden armor, it gave him the strength to escape Malvel, but he has to leave for his powers. They're weakened here. Before leaving, he explains Malvel's plan to bring the 6 beasts of Gorgonia to Avantia for an invasion. Series 11 will attempt to rip off this idea. As for the golden armor, it has been transferred to Hugo's castle for safekeeping, but Tom could still have access to the armor powers. Adaro left Tom, looked at his compass and compass of destiny, and they were off. This explains the importance of the Lion's Gate, as it seems intended to transport the Gorgonian beasts. So if we go off that assumption, it's still hard to say, but I'm more inclined to believe that Malvel didn't want Tom to kill Trelion. I think after Tom was dealt with whatever Series 2 beast did it, he would have gotten the armor, either given it to Seth with a curse to make him more loyal and evil, or give that power to himself. After, Malvel would have purposely killed Trelion and brought the Gorgonian beasts. If Tom enters Gorgonia with golden armor, he still poses a threat to his plans. It just seems more likely that Tom wanted him killed in Series 2 for his plan to have better results. It's a shame Adaro isn't captured. I know that kind of means to say, but it does raise the stakes. It's kind of mean to say I want Adaro captured for Series 3, but like I said, it does raise the stakes with him still in there. And there could have been Malvel could have used Adaro against Tom in some way. It just feels their original intention of going through the Lion's Gate is pointless, aside from the compass saying destiny. So it's what is there. They carried on after Adaro left, but after a bit of reassuring, Tagus came from the Lion's Gate, charging further into Gorgonia, heading to a village. Tom discovered that Malvel was also using the Lion's Gate to force the good beasts into Gorgonia, leaving Avantia defenseless from the evil ones. Okay, so to update my notes regarding the Lion's Gate, yeah, makes sense. He needs them gone to avoid any conflict. I still think Malvel didn't want Tom to kill Trelion, and the Dark Wizard wanted to kill his own lion. Because if Tom enters Gorgonia with the golden armor, he's still going to have a good chance to destroy the evil beasts, even with you taking the good ones. Still, I do like that the Lion's Gate has multiple purposes, which makes Trelion more integral to Malvel's plans compared to other beasts in his arsenal. And when I read all these books about how they pose a threat to the golden armor, I might address that at the end. We'll see. Right, Tom and friends had to follow sticky marsh and the marshlands that proved rough. Eventually they pulled through. They encountered trees that our heroes believed to be alive, more so than normal ones, as the trees began to attack them. They quickly ran off out of the forest, and lightning zapped in front of them. Malvel had given them an untrustworthy map, kind of showing where Tagus was. It also been established that Malvel can alter the environment, make it more different ways and form different structures, like editing a picture or our heroes but our heroes of course ignored these concerns and pressed on. They reached the village, but the villagers weren't fans of Avantians, no doubt Malvel's doing. They chased our group out of the village. They came across Tagus's blood trail, found Tagus caught in a bear trap that belonged to Torgor. Even with Tom's golden armor, the bear trap refused to come off, so they guessed they had to find Torgor. Tom and Silver followed the trail while Ellen and Storm stayed with Tagus. Silver and Tom followed the trail to a river. However, when they reached they had lost it. Logs were being thrown at them. Eleanor, not wanting any more harm coming to her friends, quickly rode Storm and they faced the approaching Torgor together. Torgor proved very effective, easily dismissing Tom's attacks, who was now enhanced by the golden armor, as in Tom. Even Eleanor's arrows bounced off his very fake hide. He reached Tagus and was about to kill him until Tom brought the Tagus some time. However, when Tagus moved, Torgor's bear trap further sunk into Tagus. Tom had enough and tricked Torgor into breaking the chain on his bear trap. Tagus and Torgor fought, and Tagus, finding Torgor's weakness, Torgor's weakness is his horns, and began yanking one of them off. With one of the horns off, Eleanor's arrows now hurt Torgor, and with one finishing blow, Tom chopped off the remaining horn. This made Torgor's axe drop, freeing the red jewel. Torgor was turned to a ruby statue, while Tom received Torgor's belt, which could hold the red jewel and the other 5 jewels he'll get. Allowing him to communicate with the beast with the red jewel's power, Adaro showed up with his magic to transport Tagus to the Lion's Gate, which in turn sent him back to Avantia. But it was revealed during their time chasing Tagus, Malvel had brought the other 5 good beasts in Avantia, and they need help too. So that's our story analysis there. So overall, for our first series book of Series 3, good start so far. I always had a soft spot for Torgor being the Minotaur because I like my Minotaurs. So good stuff. Now we go on to the characters for this book. Tom, of course, gets a tiny bit more of an Eleanor in focus. He leads Storm through the marsh. He goes after Torgor and he gets the finishing blow on the beast. So he gets a good bit of portion there. Eleanor, she races to Tom's help when they need and shoots arrows, but to buy some Tom time. So she does do a bit. Storm and Silver. Storm helps our heroes from getting out of bad environments / situations. He also helps Eleanor to get to Tom. Silver helps locate Torgor, so both of those animal companions do get something to do in the story, which is appreciative. Curlo the Gatekeeper. Mysterious character, he's been untrustworthy at the beginning. It's unclear whose side he's on, and his actions are questionable, purposely making Tom angry so he could either get a more fighting spirit to beat Beast, or so could Tom be blinded by rage and let the Minotaur get the killing blow. I assume he wants to take over Gorgonia. Maybe he was the original ruler. There's possibilities. Granted, by the time I'm doing this video now, I have my answer of his true intent, so there you go there. Torgor, I know he didn't get much to do because of the exposition, but he wasn't a total waste. He showed to completely not be bothered by Eleanor's arrows or the golden arm powers. He just completely ignored those. Even with his bear trap, it couldn't be broken by by the armor itself. It had to be specifically destroyed by his own axe. He was able to catch Tagus. True, Tagus was drained of his stamina thanks to that horrible gallop, but I'll still give Torgor points for that because he did, in a way, he did help capture Tagus, so there's some points there. And given how much Tagus was fighting off Trelline, that's still credit. Granted, I don't understand why he left Tagus chained up. The only explanation I can think of, Malvel was leading Tagus to that spot where the bear trap is, and Torgor was on his way there. The blood might throw that off, but it's the only explanation I've got. So there you go. So overall, Torgor, fine start to the series. Moving on, we have score. After the victory over Torgor, our heroes received word from Adaro about the name of the next beast, Score. He didn't have time to explain what Score is, so our heroes ventured to the rainforest where Epos was being held prisoner. They head out, making their pass unstable. They had to pass unstable land, soon coming across water. However, it wasn't safe to drink. It seemed like this was Malvel's plan, to starve/dehydrate them. In Storm's desperation, he ran in panic, and Tom had to quickly steady him before they went off a cliff. Tom stopped Storm just in time, but nearly fell off himself, hanging by a stirrup. Ellen and Storm quickly backed up, and Tom was okay. Tom spotted a bridge, but before crossing, they saw some tasty berries. Realizing it was too good to be true, they quickly spat them out, thinking it to be one of Malvel's tricks. Nor wasting any time, they began to cross, leaving their animals behind. They struggled to walk across uneasy planks with a small percentage of hope. They thought they could pile through before Malvel's bird minions gnashed at the ropes, causing our heroes to fall. They hung on to the edge with some effort, pulled themselves out. They spotted a strange hoof print, realizing it wasn't Storm but Score's. The winged stallion revealed himself along with Tom's old rival, Seth. He was introduced in one of the first special and had come to even the score with Tom. He told Score to guard Epos while he dealt with Tom. After a scuffle, he lost and ran off, as in, I believe, Seth did, with our heroes going for Epos. Before they bolted, they met Curlo again, twisting him about what was the right thing to do, and he knew about Taladon. Of course, no time for that. They raced off, losing in score they lose and score in a race as he captured the nest. However, they didn't know how to rescue Epos, giving Score more time to return. Seth also showed up, but was easily dealt with by Eleanor. Seth tried to lure Score closer. Tom, annoyed by this, climbed the tree and scuffled with Score. Soon enough, the tree came crashing down, and it revealed Score can't bleed. Score ran to Tom, Eleanor saying not to give up, and Tom summoned his inner strength. The attack pushed Score back, and Tom used one of his uncle's methods to soothe Score. Unfortunately for Seth, the plan worked, and Tom was able to get the killing blow on Score, turning him to Emerald. Tom acquired the green jewel, but Seth escaped, and Epos was suffering a broken wing. Of course, the mystery jewel has the power to heal broken bones. Epos flew through a portal, and with the help of Adaro, they realized Sepron was in danger next. After returning to their animals, it was off to the next one. So, a nice steady pace on Score. So, that's that one for you. It's an alright little tale. Character-wise, we've got Tom, main focus. He stopped from going off a cliff, fought Seth, scuffled with Score, and got the finishing blow on the beast along with saving Epos. Eleanor, she helps save Tom from a near-death experience. Still stalls the beast to give Tom time, and easily deals with Seth, so she does get a bit there. Storm and Silver. Storm helps save Tom, but after they cross the bridge, the animals are benched, unfortunately. Seth, he faces Tom, tips off Score. I do find it funny he's allowed to give orders to the beast. You figure after his first failure, he wouldn't have a good position of power from Malvel. And he ends up escaping for another day. So, at least we have a consistent rival, which I appreciate when we do get one of those. Score. Rereading this, I give it credit. Rereading it, I give it credit. He presents, meaning he's determined to stay on task. He's also able to not bleed from attacks, unfortunately, after some scuffling. It just takes lucky shot to get him sorted. I'd assume Score is also more powerful than the golden armor, like how Torgor was able to deflect the attacks. But the problem is we never get a proper chance to read to know that information, because Score keeps his distance most of the time. So it's hard. You can assume Score can withstand the gold armor. Personally, though, now that I've read the series all the way through, I personally think he cannot, because if he could withstand the golden armor attacks, he would have done more close-up combat. So I personally think now that I've read the series all the way through, he cannot. Naga. Right, so our heroes were slowly recovering from their previous battle. They soon went to look for Sepron, but were quickly reminded that they couldn't trust the map, as Malvel the Dark Wizard had given it to them to mess with their heads. Being able to control the Gorgonian environment, he could. Even Tom's Destiny Compass would ensure they still pressed on, giving through their little options. Our heroes pressed on, accidentally falling for a quicksand trap. Storm was stuck, and it was thanks to Eleanor's clever thinking of creating a counterweight mechanism to lift Storm out, and they could have a better chance. Tom reassuring Storm and one more inch of effort got him out. However, before Tom could celebrate, Eleanor and Silver were captured, and Tom was forced to drop his weapons. It was revealed that there was an obvious bounty on our heroes' heads. They were wanted alive. Tom knew he couldn't convince them, and after further assault, Tom tried to fight back, leading to some of the hunters taking Eleanor away. Now Tom had to rescue her. Part of me feels if Seth and bounty hunting was established from the beginning, it could have made some of the early parts of the series before fighting beasts show up more intriguing. Wanted for theft, treason, and intrusion. Theft. What exactly did they steal in this series? Nothing, to my knowledge. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. The whole treason thing for this kingdom depends on the rules, and intrusion, that's definite. Alright, moving on. Tom faced the remaining bounty hunters in an enjoyable fight, knowing with Tom's power that they were no match for him. He then freed his allies and caught up to the leader, Gent, along with the unconscious Eleanor. Gent sent a small avalanche to distract our heroes, and they were gone. Silver had Eleanor's scent and led our heroes to the town, where she and another girl were kept. Silver scared off the townsfolk and throwing rocks, because they were throwing rocks at Eleanor and the girl, and they freed her, and they quickly left with Gent in pursuit. Our heroes quickly escaped Gent's men, and our heroes reached a safe spot where they could talk to Adora, the girl they had saved. She explained about Naga the beast and how he killed her brother. She was weakened from the beast's attack and captured by Malvel's followers. Adora was part of the rebellion that was against Malvel. They were mentioned before in past books, but it wasn't a relevant thing till now. She marked the map showing where the camp was. Hopefully at one point Tom could join forces, foreshadowing events in Book 5. They soon reached the Black Ocean after observing layout coming across some strange platform. They set Silver and Storm aside, took a boat and headed out. They found Sepron looking like he was already dead. Then Naga showed up. Our duo fought Naga, doing serviceable damage. However, after a scuffle, the beast received. Then Sepron joined the battle. However, he seemed too weak to turn the tide. Tom got an idea, asking Eleanor to purposely misfire an arrow. Attach the arrow. Tom quickly snagged and restrained the sea monster with some rope in there. A few powerful slashes and Naga was done. Sepron went through a magic whirlpool back to Avantia, and Tom gained the yellow jewel from Naga's tooth. He could retain all his memories. Adora warned them of Kaimon, and they had to prepare for the next battle. So, alright, story there of Book 3. Good one there. I've always had a soft spot for Book 3 before. Granted, how things are now, that I've reread it, my original position of it has been swapped around, so you'll see how that goes. Tom, for the character proportion now, he helps rescue Storm from quicksand. Tom fought off the bounty hunters, led the charge to rescue Eleanor, came up with plan to finish Naga, so he does get a good serviceable portion of what he should do. Since he's the main character, he's going to have the main portion of many books. Eleanor, aside from quicksand and the arrows on Naga, she gets damseled through a good portion of the book, so it's serviceable. So she does make up for when she is captured beforehand. She does get some stuff to do. Storm and Silver. Silver is able to track down Eleanor and provide a distraction to give Tom time to save Eleanor. Storm races after Gent, catching up and avoiding the small avalanche, so they both get a little moment to shine. Naga, unfortunately, he gets shafted, only getting 2 chapters, and I felt not much conflict aside from damage he'd done to Sepron, which wasn't written about in the book itself because it's done off screen or off view. At the end of the day, he got some damage, which is better than anything, so there you go. Take what you will there. Now we move on to Kaimon. Our heroes were heading to free the next beast, who turned out to be Nanook, not trusting the map. They trusted Tom's compass and soon spotted Nanook all chained up. However, the flowers that surrounded her made it difficult for them to get close, so they had to because they kept tangling up anyone who attempts to walk through. And surprise, Kaimon shows up early. Nice twist there. Malvel turns off his flower trap so our heroes can face Kaimon. Yeah, so Kaimon. Tom goes first, but Silver steps in, wanting to protect his friends, and then it looks like Silver was struggling. Tom tried to help, but Kaimon reveals that she can replicate herself, and the clones go after Storm and Eleanor, and a third fights Tom. They eventually overcome them, but Kaimon escapes with Silver weakened. Using the combined power of the healing talent and the jewel that heals broken bones, Silver recovered. Tom then went for Nanook, but by this point Malvel reactivated his spell, and the pesky flowers showed irritation. Tom successfully got through, freed Nanook, and together they past Melville's flower trap. However, they still had to beat Kamon. This time it was Tom assured Eleanor that they could do this. He left Storm and Nanook to watch over Silver while Eleanor and Tom went after Kamon. They soon realized that she had merged back to one being and prowled to an ugly castle. Kamon only, she only splits in fear, they think. They slowly enter the castle, but despite the fact Kamon was aware they're coming, she held back, allowing them to explore the castle and hear the sounds of captives. They noticed Curlo in the background, and the gatekeeper tipped them off about the captives, and our heroes decided they should save them first. They soon found a passage to the dungeons, released the slaves, and disappeared. Curlo questioning was it right to save them. However, this wasn't time to debate about this, so they had to defeat Kamon. Tom's compass pointed to destiny, agreeing it was time. Eleanor had held back if she needed him, and Tom faced Kamon. Even she was eager for this moment. Tom's power proved to be more than a match for her, so she replicated herself. The fight dragged on, and Tom felt his stamina reaching its peak. How much longer could he withstand? Tom regained his energy just in time and tricked Kamon into following him through the castle. In order for her to pursue Tom through the entrance ways, she would have to go back to one being. Eleanor assisted, and the battle progressed. Eventually, Kamon was nearly out of stamina. Tom taunted her, and she jumped on the drawbridge, sinking her into the water. With her defeat, Adaro was able to open a portal for Nanook, but where was the snow monster? Of course, Nanook arrived with Tom's animal friends, and they decided it would be best for Silver to go back to Avantia to properly recover. So both Nanook and Silver headed out while Tom gained the white jewel and the shadow power to form an ally. So we're making progress with these. Tom, he leads the battles, faces Kamon early on, heals Silver, races to go after Kamon, frees the rebels, and takes charge of most of the battle, earning the jewel. So he gets, as expected, of course, a good serviceable amount of the book there. Right, Eleanor. Not much. She goes to face a Kamon hound. Her bond for Silver is there, and she helps free the rebels and irritates Kamon in the final battle. So that's her portion to do. Storm and Silver, both of them get to fight a Gorgon hound, but due to plot they get benched, and we sadly say goodbye to Silver as he has to go home and rest up. Kamon, I never got the impression Kamon was egotistical in this. It was more so she was eager to fight, her eager determination to test her ability. But when it happened against Tom properly, the hero proved more than she expected, and it cost her big time. I felt she had an opportunity to kill Tom, but with the aid of the golden chainmail and Eleanor, the victory slipped away from her, so she had a chance. Right. Moving on then, we go to book 5 now. But overall, I did enjoy Kamon as well. So, Tom. Tom was happy with his new power, the Shadow Ally, from the White Jewel. After packing, Adaro told them that Silver was okay, and Furno needed help from Tusk the Mammoth Beast, who was near the rebel camp, so they headed out. They soon reached the jungle, or forest, depending on what you want to go with, that environment where Tusk should be near. Tom tried calling to Furno. He tried to warn them of the upcoming danger, but he got cut off, and Eleanor was captured by a vine. Despite Tom's efforts, Eleanor couldn't be freed, so Tom had to go after Furno, and Tom promised that he'd be back. But by the time he reached, Furno was struggling, and Tusk was charging at Tom. Before the battle started, Malval was sure Tusk would be the one to finish Tom. Still, Tom, of course, was determined to try his best. However, he was thrown off Storm, and Tusk was able to dodge the golden armor attacks. Tom held his ground, but soon Tusk knocked him off, preparing to kill him. Tom was able to jump out the way in time, but Tusk now wanted to go for Eleanor. She charged, taking Tom with her, and despite Tom's efforts, just ignored his strength tugging from the golden powers, pulled Eleanor loose and gouged her with poisonous tusks. Tom, pissed, returned the favor, getting a lucky stab, taking Eleanor away to be healed. Taking Eleanor away and fleeing, concerned for his friend, of course. Tom was reunited with Storm and watched over as Tom brought them some time with the vine traps sprung on Tusk. Tom quickly took Eleanor to the rebels' camp, only to find no response. He split from his shadow, and saw the rebels were captured by Seth and some guards. However, the guards were now coming after Tom, where Tom was, and he realized he couldn't move as long as his shadow was separated. Tom's shadow quickly rejoined, and Tom fought Seth. I assume with his mind unfocused regarding Eleanor, that's why he wasn't able to overpower Seth with the golden armor. Anyways, before Seth's men decided to assist, the rebels scared off the Malvel's forces, and Adora, the girl from the Naga book, helped out Eleanor. She was taken to camp, of course, while Tom would fight, Tusk. Trying to figure out. Yeah, Tom was about I'm about to go somewhere. Yeah, so Tom was about to face Tusk when Adora and a huge band of rebels offered them to help fight the mammoth. They all charged, but despite their numbers, Tom felt it wasn't enough to win until Ellen and Storm arrived. This shocked Tusk and gave our heroes second wind, forcing Tusk back, making her trip and tie her up, and she was slashed to death. The portal that was open could be used to help some of the rebels escape. Adora was grateful, and she headed out with most of her men. Then Curler arrived, and then, of course, Furno flew in, and Curler questioned, was it a wise decision letting the rebels go into Avantia, because they might not get along with the Avantians. But, Elena reassures Tom that he did the right thing, and they reunited with Silver, who had come back from the portal, giving Tom his next duel, so he had more battle experience. So, progress there. Tom, of course, he gets most to do, attempting to... And that was our book, of course, Tusk. Tom gets most to do, attempting to rescue Eleanor. Brief scuffle with Tusk. Wants to rescue Furno. Goes to the rebels' camp for help. Tricks Tusk into the vines, using his shadow powers to figure out what's going on. Leads the rebels to beating Tusk, and gives some of the rebels a chance for a better life. So, because of the situation, how the book is written, he gets a lot more to do because of the position he's in. Eleanor, unfortunately, is captured and benched through most of the book, only showing up at the final battle to turn the tide. So, unfortunately, she gets a bit shafted this one. Storm aids Tom out of desperate situations and also brings to the final battle. So, a bit alright. At least it's more than Eleanor. Tusk. So Tusk is unaffected by the golden armor attacks, able to outspeed some hits and got contained for a bit. Then in the final battle, she was winning until Eleanor got her in a panic, and then the beast tumbled down, and I felt potential, but it was a bit wasted at the end there. So, it's a bit more respect than how it was. In all fairness, I should have watched Adam's retrospective for this, but in my retrospective, I think Tusk is all right. I'm gonna probably rewatch Adam's retrospective on series 3 to see how he thinks in Tusk again. So we'll see. I mean, I'll probably have a word about it, but we'll see. So overall, I think I enjoyed Tusk. It was fine. Right, moving on, we're on one book left now. That is Sting. So, let's see. Our heroes began to leave the jungle. Their animals alongside, they were heading free when they encountered a wounded Seth, Malvel's henchman. Tom slowly removed the arrows despite Seth's warnings. Tom healed Seth, and now he was well. Seth began to mutate into a half-breed scorpion entity, and he explained Malvel was going to punish Seth for his failures with a curse. So to prevent this transformation, it's most likely he wounded himself to a near-death experience to die from these wounds to prevent the transformation, but thanks to Tom's, Malvel succeeded. There was a brief scuffle, and Seth felt sad about his new appearance. Malvel showed up, revealing he knew Tom would help Seth, so he did indeed help him. Seth begged to be turned back, but instead Malvel used a spell to erase all of who Seth is via personality, replacing him with an obedient monster. Sting was sent to guard Arctur, and it was a race to get there first. They headed out, reached an empty well, and soon discovered they had to go underground. The well was a dead end, so they pressed on. They eventually reached the city, which was deserted. Curlo was finally revealing himself as the good wizard of Gorgonia. However, Malvel was stronger than him and made him the gatekeeper in his weakened state. Curlo told them which way to go, and they were off. They bumped into some guards who recognized who they were, so our heroes knocked them unconscious, and took their clothes for disguise. But the villagers wised up, forcing the heroes to flee. They lost the mob, and Tom sent his shadow to find a way inside. The shadow was successful, and they opened a large gate, but the troops were looking for them. They went through the catacombs, finding Taladon's tomb. However, it was an empty tomb, and since we know Taladon's current status and his fate, this was probably used as a old plan to deal with Taladon. They found Arcta, but Sting showed up. The fight was very brief, a simple scuffle, and a lucky shot. Sting was defeated. Arcta was freed, and the area was beginning to crumble. Sting got out, but was bleeding, and our heroes were trapped. However, it was discovered the final jewel they got from Sting's tail made portals, so everyone was able to go where they needed to be. And a feast was celebrated, and we know Malvel is fine, of course, and Seth is probably dead by Malvel's hands because of his failure. That's most likely what's going to happen there. It's never confirmed, but it's been how many times since that series now, so it's most likely that's the case. Tom, he wanted to help Seth despite their issues. He fought Sting back briefly, took disguises, faced Sting in the final, and escaped the falling castle, so there's that for you. Eleanor helped fight Sting and sneak in the castle, as well as escape, so there's that. Storm and Silver, they didn't feel they did much at all. This book, unfortunately, just followed our duo to where they need to go. Sting, missed opportunity. As soon as he gets mind wiped, he's left with nothing but revenge against Tom. He could have gone on a relentless pursuit after Tom, but he follows Malvel's orders and gets easily disfigured. Most likely, since Malvel is pissed, he gets killed by he kills the Scorpion Man. So Malvel's probably killed him. Kaimon, yeah. I've got notes here underneath. Came on that. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, so we got through the series, guys. I apologize for that because I've got it today and I'm trying to get sorted. Regardless, though, aside from that, that has been my analysis for each book of Series 3. Overall, I had, like I said, a good fun watching this series again. And now, of course, it's time for the rankings. So, I have all my books noted in order. First up, at the bottom spot, is Score. The problem I have with Score is that he kept his distance way too much for a beast. I understand why, because he's a Pegasus-type beast. But at the same time, it would be really great to see how a horse would fight Tom. Because they've managed to do centaurs fine, so it just seems a missed opportunity. So that's why I think it's at the bottom. And how brief certain sections were. At our fifth spot is Sting the Scorpion Man. Missed opportunity, as I said in my story analysis. They could have done a lot with this guy, but as soon as he's transformed into the monster, his personality gets taken away, apart from the revenge ploy for Tom, and we don't see him a lot until the final battle, and when he does, it's very short, so it's a missed opportunity beast-wise. And that's for the story itself. It's just the heroes go from point A to point B for their quest. Nothing really engaging happens on the journey to make me like, ooh, that's cool. So that's how it is there. And now we're at my, that's 6, 5. So this is number 4. And at number 4 is Torgor the Minotaur. Torgor. So Torgor, he is one of the interesting ones for me, beast-wise. Because I've got like notes of like which beasts were either equal or more powerful than the golden armor. And he's one of them. This guy had no lasting damage on the golden armor at all. He completely ignored the attacks, and so he's very effective beast-wise. I don't understand why my friend Adam dislikes him in retrospective now I've read it again, but I assume because he doesn't get much to do story-wise and he shows up near the end because of the exposition of the story, so probably that's why. So there is a possibility there. But I do appreciate with the time he is given, he is shown to be powerful threats, so there you go. And his bear trap is able to catch the beast, so he does get a bit more to do, and I appreciate that. So I do like that in retrospective, I get more appreciation for Torgor there. So we move along, of course, and we are at Naga. So, yeah, Naga, this one, of course, is a great story. It's nice to see that our heroes are in danger and the bounty has been established. Unfortunately, beast-wise, the beast doesn't get much to do, but I think the story makes it engaging for our characters that we care about in danger and overcome this great threat. So, story-wise, it makes up for the lack of the beast, and that's why it's ranked high as it is. So that would be 6, 5, 4. Well, that was 3. So, of course, there's only 2 books left. And at number 2 is, shockingly, Tusk the Mighty Mammoth. This was difficult for me. Obviously came on as number 1. No surprise there. This one, it came down. Here's the thing. The reason why it was higher than Naga is because it's a water beast. The animal companions get shafted and they couldn't do much. At least with Tusk, there was that, and it put Tom in an edge of his seat situation because his friend was captured. She wasn't there to help him. The beast proved to be. She could withstand some of the golden armor. She was able to outspeed some of the attacks, and she didn't bother with the golden armor strength attacks. She was tricked, and when she got injured, she kind of weakened a bit, but tension was still on for Tom story wise. He had to go and ask for the people for help in the camp, even though there was a bit of risk in them not going that way. Seth was there that raised the stakes and pushed back. He felt like he was done for. The rebels came to help. So it was a building story. And then when you think Tom's gonna fight this all alone, no, the rebels come to help him. It's a nice lifting thing that he's not alone this time. They think they're gonna lose, but no, Storm and Eleanor come in, and for some reason that gives Tusk a scare. I guess she felt confident that she dealt with that character, but no, and then she gets easily dispatched. So kind of a bit of a weak way the beast went out, but I think all the building stuff regardless makes up for that, so that's just why I put Tusk as high as it is. And the fact that she's able to withstand golden armor attacks makes her interesting. Because when going in this series, I was curious to know if like this series was going to have beasts that were stronger than the golden armor or weaker, and we kind of had a 50-50 because we had three that were equal slash stronger than the armor, and then we had three that didn't seem bothered at all. So then we move along to the final book, and of course the best book of the series, Came on the Gorgon Hound. Yeah, Gorgon Hound. So overall, of course, Came on is the high point, story-wise and probably beast-wise for me. I enjoyed that the story took a nice pace, and her showing up at the beginning, you made a nice trick for us because you don't normally expect it unless you're a Trollian. And then each companion got to fight a clone of the Gorgon Hound, which is either equal or a bit weaker than the original one, and it puts suspense with Silva being hurt. So Tom, that puts certain characters to look after, while Tom and Eleanor went to this castle in this confined space. But Tom was able to utilize the confined space to his advantage against the beast, so it shows some strategy mind. And as for her against the golden armor, I personally think at most she's equal to the golden armor's powers. She had a chance to beat it, but Tom was able to outwit. I think personally for me, I feel like she's equal to the armor, not stronger than it. That's just how I feel, because Tom was holding his own in that fight. That's just me. So I would say Tusk and Torgr might be a bit more effective than the armor, because even Malvel thought that Tusk was the one that could beat this, so that's just my thoughts there. But I think like the engaging story pushed it along, and when she fell on the bridge, it was a nice laugh there. So this was obviously the best one. So Adam, you chose a good book as the best one, and I agree with you on that front for the points you made. Overall, guys, this has been my review on, or retrospective on the Beast Quest Series 3. I did kind of go a bit wishy-washy with it, and part of me was a bit, I was a bit like wondering, did Malvel plan this? And now that I've read the series overall with the Lion's Gate involved, I think I stand by what I said, because he didn't, I don't think he knew how powerful the golden armor was compared to these ones. So based on that assumption, I think he didn't intend Tom to win. He wanted one of his other beasts to get it done, and then he would have killed Trelline in his own way and had these beasts attack. So that's what I think in the full thing. Curlew the Gatekeeper has revealed to be a good guy. It's fine. I kind of saw it coming. I've expected him to be some sort of... Because if there's rebels involved, then there was obviously something before Malvel's time. So that kind of put the pieces together yourself. There you go. Overall, it's been a fun little retrospective on this. When it comes to Series 4, Adam, my friend Adam Ferns, of course, we made a little deal. Like, if he manages to put out certain requested videos, I think I did 2 or 3, then we'd get out. Then I'll be able to do Series 4. Series 5, myself, I'll be doing, for it's one of my favourite series. 6, he'll be releasing a video. In exchange, I release Series 6 retrospective. Then one more Series 7, and then we're caught up there. So that's the plan for that. So I'm looking forward to all that. And Christmas is coming up. I'm looking forward to how things go down. And I'm going to also try and get out the Mortax book for a nice little birthday present for Adam on this channel. So hopefully I can get that done now that Now that I've got Series 3 done, I'll be making sure to do that retrospective right after. but I won't upload until the 10th, so that's how it's planned. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for more content in the future. Peace out.